Hola, ¿cómo estás? Hello, how are you? Are you looking for books or an author that represents both the Hispanic and the LGBTQIA communities? Benjamin Alire-Saenz is an award-winning author, poet, and professor of creative writing who draws attention to difficult social issues while celebrating the desert landscape of southern New Mexico and Texas, all while giving a lyrical voice to two growing but often marginalized communities in American society. September is Latinx Heritage Month, and in celebration we will highlight several Latinx writers. We'll start off our celebration by focusing on three of Benjamin Alire-Saenz's young adult novels. These books are intended for high school students ages 14 to 18 because they dive deep into challenging family matters, drug and alcohol abuse, racism and discrimination, immigration and border issues, gangs, disappearing cultures, and homosexuality in the Hispanic community. We're going to look at Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. As you can see by the book cover, it's won several awards and been well received. In addition to that, we'll examine The Inexplicable Logic of My Life, which follows a fun character named Salvador as he navigates through his senior year of high school. And last, we'll also look at Last Night I Sang to the Monster, which is a difficult read, and it talks about drug addiction, alcoholism, and challenging dysfunctional family life. The Inexplicable Logic of My Life by Benjamin Alire-Saenz. This is going to be a character description book talk. Some people think it's odd thing to have your favorite person be your grandmother, but not in Sal's family. Salvador is just starting his senior year of high school, and instead of being eager to leave home and start out on his own, he is reluctant for things to change. Sal loves his family and is in no hurry to go away. Sal's father adopted him when he was 3 years old, after his mother passed away from cancer. What is so unusual about this is the man who adopted Sal was his mother's best friend, who happened to be a well-established painter and art professor in El Paso, Texas. Still, what's the big deal? Well, Salvador is actually a white kid, and his adoptive father, Vicente, is a Mexican-American. In addition, Vicente is gay. What is it like to grow up as a white kid raised by a Mexican-American homosexual art professor in a predominantly Hispanic neighborhood of El Paso? Sal loves every minute of it. He is loved and adored by his aunts and uncles, and his Mima is one of his best friends. He speaks better Spanish than his friend Fito. He thinks his Mima's fresh-made tortillas are the best food he's ever eaten, and he loves and respects his father and their relationship. Sal only runs into trouble when his classmates insult his father's homosexuality, and it brings out an anger in Sal that makes him start to question everything. Sal's perfect world starts to unravel when a series of unfortunate events, including his grandmother's cancer returning, makes him question everything. Hurry to the shelf and find a copy of this beautifully written book by author Benjamin Alire-Saenz and find out if Sal can handle the pressure of his family, friends, and growing up. Again, it's The Inexplicable Logic of My Life. While our good friend Salvador enjoys the comfort of a close-knit family with well-established traditions, other characters in Alire-Saenz's novels don't get off so easily. In the next book on our talk list, our protagonist Zach struggles to calm his inner demons and try to establish a sobriety in a haunting novel about dysfunctional families, addiction, homosexuality, and sexual abuse. Last Night I Sang to the Monster. This book is challenging to read because the pain and damage the characters feel drip from the pages. The protagonist's name is Zach. He is an 18-year-old alcoholic who drinks to heavily shield himself from his troubled family life. He is a Mexican-American teenager in El Paso, Texas, whose mother is deeply depressed and emotionally abusive. His father has an extreme drinking problem, and his brother terrorizes his family with violent outbursts and dangerous behaviors. Zach reluctantly does the work of becoming sober in a recovery center where he meets Adam, his therapist. In the beginning of the treatment, Zach writes the following poem. What is this thing you call substance abuse? All I want to do is forget and get loose. Drinking and smoking over and over, what's so great about a life that's sober? There's nothing cool about being young when monsters of night have stolen the sun. I'm tired of searching for words in the sky. All I want to do is drink and die. Nothing is real, it's all a big lie. All I want to do is drink and die. There's nothing cool about being young when the monsters of night have stolen the sun. Zach must work through years of abuse and neglect to try to salvage himself and his sanity. The path to recovery is a challenging one as Zach establishes friendships and relationships with the other patients. If you or anyone you love has faced any of these difficulties, read this book and find out if Zach's monsters ever stop haunting him. Zach's brother causes a great deal of emotional trauma to Zach and his family. The same applies to Aristotle, or rather Ari, in Aristotle and Dante's Discover the Secrets of the Universe. Ari hasn't seen his brother Bernardo in several years because he's in jail for beating someone to death. The following is an excerpt from Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe, where Ari explains his brother to his best friend Dante. Chapter 8. My mom interrupted my thoughts, if that's what they were. Dante's on the phone. I walked past the kitchen and noticed my mom cleaning out all her cabinets. Whatever summer meant, for my mom it meant work. I threw myself on the couch in the living room and grabbed the phone. Hi, I said. Hi, he said. What are you doing? Nothing, I'm not feeling great. My mom's taking me to the doctor this afternoon. I was hoping we could go swimming. I can't, Yeah, I know. So you're just hanging out? Yeah. Are you reading something, Ari? No, I'm thinking. About what? Stuff? Stuff? You know, Dante, things. Like what, Ari? You know, how my two sisters and my brother are so much older than me and how that makes me feel. How old are they, your sisters and brother? My sisters are twins. They're not identical, but they look alike. They're 27. My mom had them when she was 18. Wow, he said. 27. Yeah, wow. I'm 15 and I have 3 nieces and 4 nephews. I think that's really cool, Ari. Trust me, Dante, it's not that cool. They don't even call me Uncle Ari. So how old is your brother? He's 25. I've always wanted a brother. Yeah, I might as well not have one. Why? We don't talk about him. It's like he's dead. Why? He's in prison, Dante. I'd never told anybody about my brother. I'd never said a word about him to another human being. I felt bad for talking about him. Dante didn't say anything. Can we not talk about him, I said. Why? It makes me feel bad. Ari, you didn't do anything. I don't want to talk about him, okay, Dante? Okay, but you know, Ari, you have this really interesting life. Not really, I said. Yes, really, he said. At least you have siblings. Me, I only have a mother and a father. What about cousins? They don't like me. They think I'm a little different. They're really Mexican, you know, and I'm sort of, what did you call me? A pocho. It's exactly what I am. My Spanish isn't great. You can learn it, I said. Learning it at school is different than learning it at home or on the street. And it's really hard because most of my cousins are on my mom's side and they're really poor. My mom's the youngest and she really fought for her family so she could go to school. Her father didn't think a girl should go to college, so my mom said, screw it, I'm going anyway. I can't picture your mom saying screw it. Well, she probably didn't say that, but she found a way. She was really smart and she worked her way through college and then she got some kind of fellowship to graduate school at Berkeley. And that's where she met my dad. I was born somewhere in there. They had their studies. My mom was turning herself into a psychologist. My dad was turning himself into an English professor. My dad's parents were born in Mexico. They live in a small little house in East LA and they speak no English and own a little restaurant. It's like my mom and dad created a whole new world for themselves. I live in their new world. But they understand the old world, the world they came from, and I don't. I don't belong anywhere. That's the problem. You do, I said. You belong everywhere you go. That's just how you are. You've never seen me around my cousins. I feel like a freak. I knew what it was like to feel like that. I know, I said. I feel like a freak too. Well, at least you're a real Mexican. What do I know about Mexico, Dante? The quiet over the phone was strange. Do you think it will always be this way? What? When do we start feeling like the world belongs to us? I wanted to tell them that the world would never belong to us. I don't know, I said. Tomorrow. Read more about Ari and Dante as they navigate through their friendship, family, and their heritage. Benjamin Alire-Saenz is an amazing author who makes magic with words as he explores challenging subjects around LGBTQIA issues and the Latinx community. He's an important writer not only because he is a strong representative of these two groups, but because he's able to sculpt words in a way that is relatable, tangible, and beautiful. Check out one of these 3 books or any other titles by Benjamin Alire-Saenz. Thank you.